Hi, my name is Eva and I live in Bonnybridge. Today I'm interviewing Phil about the early history of Bonnybridge. Were the Romans the first people to live in Bonnybridge?
No, there's actually evidence of people living here up to 9,000 years ago. It is hard sometimes to find what the archaeologists call artefacts, because over the centuries the farmers have ploughed the land and people have built on the land. So sometimes it's hard to find artefacts.
What artefacts have been found locally?
An axe head made from antlers of a deer were found only about a mile from Bonnybridge golf course.
How old was that?
Well, they think that anything between 7,000 and 9,000 years old, that axe head.
What would it have been used for?
Well, it would have been used for cutting branches and twigs and reeds to help to build their houses. It could also have been used to dig the ground, maybe to prepare it for growing food or for digging a defensive ditch round about where they lived.
Was there anything else very old discovered?
Yes, they found flint tools at Seabegg's Farm, which was very unusual because flintstones not found in this area. That showed that even thousands of years ago, people were trading in goods. And again, these seem to be about 7,000 to 9,000 years old.
Did they use flint for hunting?
Yes, they would have made some of it into arrowheads. They would have tied that onto a piece of wood to make an arrow or a spear, and they would have used that to hunt for food, or maybe even to defend themselves against intruders. When they did kill animals, the flint was sharp enough to take the skin off it and to cut the meat up as well, and they would have used the skin for clothing or to keep their houses warm in the winter time, and then they could cut the meat up for eating.
What was the best thing discovered in Bonnybridge that showed people lived here a long time ago?
Well, the best thing that was found is a golden torque, and I've got a replica here. The real one is in the museum in Edinburgh, and it weighs about 200 grams, and you could try it on if you want to.
Yeah.
There you go, beautiful.
Was the bracelet made in Bonnybridge?
Well, it might have been, because these people certainly had the skills to make golden bracelets, and there's gold in the Perthshire Hills, so who knows? But I think it's probably more examples of them trading with other people.
So were there any ancient houses discovered in Bonnybridge?
Yes, there were several houses discovered in Bonnybridge. They were called either duns or homesteads, and they were found at Bonnyfield Farm, at Wheatlands and Bonnywood Farm. These were usually the site of two round houses with a yard in between where the animals would have grazed in between.
How were the round houses made?
Some had a stone base topped with wooden poles, and the wooden poles would have been filled in with straw and mud, and then a thatched roof on top. There would also have been an open fire in the centre, and that would have kept them warm in winter, and it would also have allowed them to cook their food. But whole families would have lived in these houses, children, parents, grandchildren, aunts and uncles, and all the animals would have lived in the house as well. So they were really quite big.
Are there any other really old sites in Bonnybridge?
Two spring to mind. The Roman fort, obviously, and you can still see good examples of how that was built. You can see where the soldiers lived, where the bathhouse was, where the defensive ditches and ramparts were, and they reckon that's about 1,890 years old. So yes, that's old too. But another one was found in the Middle Ages called Amott Bailey Castle, and it's situated behind the Antonine School. So Antonine School, when they needed to build an extension, couldn't do it out the back because this is a protected site. And Amott Bailey Castle was a huge mound in the centre with a wooden dwelling on the top, and round about the bailey where the normal people lived and the animals grazed, there would have been a huge defensive ditch that would have kept out either wild animals or invaders.
Thank you for speaking to me today.
You're very welcome.